What's up? What's up? What's up? Of course, it's me, your boy, Richie Rich at Consumer Power Support. Shoot another awesome video, cause that's what we do. Man, what's up? What's up? What's up? You know, Consumer Power Support, we review appliances. Today, of course, we're gonna focus on a Bosch French door refrigerator with the fastest ice maker in the industry. All right, of course, this is just the functions and the features, man. We're gonna dissect this appliance, man, and let you know exactly what can it do. You didn't purchase this appliance, and now you're trying to figure out some of the bells and whistles. When you press this button, what happens? What are some of the cool stuff it might have? And we're gonna dissect that by dissecting the owner's manual. All right, let's get into it real quick. So we're gonna let the video roll for a second so you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see the model number as well. All right, of course, this is a 500 series by Bosch, one of the top high-end brand appliances that's made in the industry right now, man. So you can see it's a French door refrigerator with the Bosch decal on the top right hand corner. You do have your dispenser on the refrigerator door there as well, on the left door, but you do have the suicide doors that you can pull open as well, and the freezer at the bottom. All right, so I'm hoping that you guys would enjoy this video as we continue to bring the stuff to you as always. All right, so right now we got the control panel. So you have your super, your fridge temperature, your fridge, eco, vacation, power, menu, alarm on and off. You have another super, and you have your freezer temperature as well. You can increase or decrease that. So we're just gonna let that sit there for a second as we dive into the owner's manual, man. Of course, you already know when we do the owner's manuals, you always want to make sure that you follow the important safety instructions, man. You want to read these before you actually start using the appliance so that you can get familiar with some of the safety features that you have on this appliance. All right, so let's see what we got. So we're gonna dive into the owner's manual. This has a mixture of installation and switching over the door and installing the water lines. All right, so this is just a quick getting to know your appliance. So if we're opening it up and just looking at the details of all the parts and components inside of the refrigerator, this is just a breakdown of what the parts are called in each of the appliance. Of course, you got the refrigerator compartment up top, then you have the freezer at the bottom. We just discussed that. Number one, you have your ice maker here. Number two, you have your ice maker bin. Number three, you have your dispenser. Number four, operating controls. That's four up here. That's the control panel. Water filter, interior light, rating plate, door pillar and condensation protection, partition with humidity control, vegetable bin, storage compartment for large bottles, cold storage bin, frozen food bin, that's the top, frozen food bin, which is large, and your height adjustable feet at the bottom. All right, so this right here, we have the operating controls. So like we discussed before, number one is your super refrigerator compartment with the super button switches super cooling on or off. Number two, we talked about the temperature compartment. You have number three, which is your indicates that and set the temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit depending on where you are. And of course, you can the refrigerator compartment button sets the temperature of the refrigerator compartment. You also have your fresh button, switches from freshness mode on or off. Eco button switches energy saving mode on or off. Vacation button, all right, it says switches vacation mode on and off, so we could discuss a lot of that. You also have a power button. That's something that we probably missed because it wasn't highlighted initially on our video, but you can see that you have a power button that switches the appliance on and off there as well. Alarm on and off, it says switches off the alarm. I'm sure that's when the door is open. It would give you a beep to let you know that the door is still open. Any alarm or indication that you see there as well. You have your menu button that open up your buttons. You have your change filter button when your filter needs to be replaced. You can switch the changes filter alarm off if you want to keep it on or off as well. Freezer compartment, same thing, switches to super freeze on and off. Freezer compartment temperature, that's number 12, and then your freezer compartment button sets the temperature on the freezer. So you also have a control sub menu. All right, so when you're diving into the menu, you have number one, it says sub menu display. This displays the setting sub menu, which is the CN. Then you have your sub menu buttons used to navigate through the sub menu. Then of course you can also connect with the Home Connect menu. All right, so this is also a smart appliance as well, so we're going to dive into a lot of these things. You have your light settings where you can turn the lights on and off. Number 5, you can switch from Celsius to Fahrenheit depending on what part of the country, and if you're familiar with either Celsius or Fahrenheit, you can keep it that way. But for normal operation, I will normally keep it on Fahrenheit. All right. Number 6, it says display the settings of the sub menu. Of course, 7 deals with the setting buttons or change the settings on the sub menu. You also have an alarm on and off button, and you have a change filter button there as well. All right, so a lot of the stuff is the same. So what we're going to do now, of course, dive into a lot more of the functions and features that it has, so you know exactly what you're getting when you're operating this appliance. All right, so we can talk about the sub cooling on the refrigerator that we discussed before. It says super cooling cools the refrigerator compartment as cold as possible. Switch on your super cooling before placing large quantities of food into the compartment for cooling drinks quickly. All right, so that's the benefit of it. A lot of these refrigerators, I've noticed that with the LG unit, with the Samsung unit, a lot of them are doing a lot of super cooling. It's a technology that's been out for a minute. It's not nothing new, but they might change the name depending on the model of the appliance. All right, it says when super cooling is switched on, increased operating noises may occur. After approximately 6 hours, the appliance switches to normal operation. All right, so this is a benefit when you're using the super cool. Like I said, it cools drinks a lot quicker. If you're having company coming over, you can throw a bottle of wine or something inside the refrigerator. You can keep that, juices and stuff like that. You can do that as well. All right. Switching super cooling on and off. Of course, press the super cool button. When the super cooling is switched on, the button is lit up. All right. Another thing we can focus on, energy saving mode. All right, it says you can set the appliance to save energy with the energy saving mode. The appliance automatically sets the following temperatures. Refrigerator compartment is 43 degrees Fahrenheit or 6 degrees Celsius. Freezer compartment 6 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 14 degrees Celsius. All right, it says switch energy saving mode on and off. Press the eco button. The temperatures are changed and the display shows the new temperatures. When energy saving mode is switched off, the last temperature set is displayed. All right, so you can save energy using your appliance, but of course you know that the temperature is going to fluctuate between the refrigerator and the freezer, so you want to make sure that you are aware of that as well. All right, super cooling. All right, so we did super cooling already, but we're going to do super freezing. So that's what we need to go into, super freezing. So the freezing compartment cools down to the coldest temperature setting of the freezer compartment. Switch on super freezing to quick freeze food all the way to the center to increase ice cube productions. All right, and this is what one of the benefits of using the super cool. You can make ice at a rapid rate. This is one of the benefits for this particular refrigerator. It's stating it's the fastest ice maker there is in the business. All right, so we can talk about that. So it says when super cooling freezer is switched on, increased operating noise may occur. So that's one of the things we talked about before. So you want to be aware of that is going to probably make certain noises. After approximately 8 hours, the appliance automatic returns to normal operation. All right, it says so switching super freezing on and off, press the super button. When super freezing is switched on, the button lights up. All right, so we can discuss a little bit about the vacation mode, and then of course continue to break down this appliance. It says in leaving the appliance for a long period, you can switch it to energy saving vacation mode. The appliance automatically sets the following temperature. You can see where it says refrigerator compartment 43 degrees Fahrenheit or 6 degrees Celsius. The temperature in the freezer compartment remains unchanged. All right, so it says switch on vacation mode, press vacation mode, the temperatures change and the display shows the new temperature. Empty the ice cube bin for hygiene reasons. All right, switch it off the vacation mode. You can turn it on or turn it off. Press the vacation button. The last temperature set is displayed for hygiene reasons. Dispense water for 5 minutes and discard. All right, so we're going to continue to dive into the rest of this video, man. Let's get it. All right, so Sabbath mode, let's dive into that real quick. So it says all non-essential functions are switched off, so you can also use the appliance on Sabbath mode. The appliance switches off the following: super cooling, super freezing, interior lights, water dispenser, ice maker, audible signals. It says note background illumination of display is reduced in Sabbath mode, so it's just one of the things that you want to be aware of. It says switch on the Sabbath mode, press and hold the vacation button for 10 seconds until an audible signal sounds. It says when Sabbath mode is switched on, the alarm display lights up. Alright, switching Sabbath mode off, it says press and hold the alarm display for 5 seconds until all audible signal sounds. It says after approximately 72 hours, the appliance automatically returns to normal operation. Of course, this is a benefit for if you are of the Jewish faith. Sabbath mode is a unique mode that a lot of appliances are integrated with this feature, that they will have the Sabbath mode. So you don't have to automatically put pieces of tape on the side of the door or take the light bulbs out and certain lights. For the Jewish faith, this actually does everything for you. So that's a benefit for this appliance. It's really unique and we really like it. All right, change the filter alarm. All right, so we can talk about this a little bit, but it says when the change alarm switches on, the change filter button lights up. The alarm is designed to switch on every 6 months. It is recommended to change the water filter every 6 months. All right, so that's one of the things that you must do with using the appliance, as far as getting water that dispenses going to taste properly, or the amount of ice that comes out when you're using the refrigerator. You want to make sure you check your filter, or the refrigerator will remind you every 6 months, and you just replace it every 6 months according to what the refrigerator is recommending. All right, so a couple things to look out for. If you're tasting the water and it doesn't taste properly, that's a sign that you probably need to replace your filter, or if your ice cubes are really small. All right, so you want to consider that as well. All right, it said an increase in ice and water consumption will cause the change filter alarm to be switched on earlier. All right, so you want to think about that. All right, switching off the change filter alarm, change the water filter or replace with bypass filter. So you can also have a bypass filter as well if you don't have water connected to it, or if you already have a water filtration system and you don't really need a filter. All right, so you can actually get that part. Press and hold change filter button for 3 seconds. The change filter alarm is switched off and the change filter button no longer lights up. The water filter timer is reset automatically. If you replace the water filter before the change filter alarm lights up, reset the water filter timer manually. And here it is right here, note 1, water filter timer running, 0, reset water filter timing. And of course you can go into the menu button as well to see all these different features. All right, switching the ice and water dispenser button lock, child lock on and off. All right, so we're gonna read a lot of these, but you can actually see some of the stuff that we've done in the video with this as well. It says the button lock protects the ice and water dispenser from being operated unintentionally. It says when the button lock is switched on, no ice or water can be dispensed. The ice maker continues to produce ice cubes. All right, so that's a note. Press and hold lock button until all light bars light up. The button lock is switched on and the light bar of the lock button lights up. When the button lock is switched off, the light bar of the last button used lights up. All right. Light of ice and water dispenser. Note, if no ice or water is dispensed for a long period, the ice and water dispenser light will turn off. You can switch the light of the ice and water dispenser permanently on and off. It says press the light button, the ice and water dispenser light is switched on permanently and the light bar of the light button lights up. All right, another feature you have, we talk about the door alarm. Of course, it said the appliance door is left open for a while, the warning sounds is switched on and the alarm off button flashes. All right, so you can see that indication there as well. Switching off the door alarm, you can do that as well. It says close the door or press the alarm off button. The warning sound is switched off and the alarm button no longer flashes. All right, so you can do that as well. You can switch the door alarm warning sound on and off, so it's up to you. All right, on, just going to read the notes real quick. On, it says on, switch on door alarm sound, off, switch off door alarm warning sound. All right, then you have your menu button there, the temperature alarm as well, so we can dive into that. It says if the freezer compartment becomes too warm, the warning sound switches on and the alarm off button flashes. All right, so that's another cool feature that a lot of appliances are starting to do. I noticed this a while back in a Frigidaire refrigerator. When the temperature drops, the refrigerator will constantly keep beeping, and that's an indication that either you need to get it repaired right away, or if you have a secondary refrigerator you can use, you can always transfer the food into that until it gets repaired. All right, always try to keep it a second refrigerator, man, because we understand the importance of refrigerators. When the temperature drops or it's not working, man, that's a lot of food to waste. So if you have an opportunity to have a secondary refrigerator, always try your best to have one. If you're gonna upgrade, keep the old one, put it in a garage, put it somewhere where you can have 2 refrigerators. Trust me, it's gonna benefit you. All right, switching the ice and water dispenser and ice maker on and off. So this is another feature that you can actually do there. So if you are not going to use the ice and water dispenser and the ice maker for a long period of time, press and hold the lock and light buttons until all the light bars light up. The ice and water dispenser and the ice maker are switched off. When switched on, the light bar of the last button use lights up. All right, another thing I don't want to miss, setting the bottle fill water amount. All right, notice this again, this is on a KitchenAid appliance refrigerator that we had worked on, where it's automatic fill to a certain bottle. Some of them, Samsung unit has a dispenser, right? It has an automatic water tank or water bottle that you can just fill up periodically, man, and it automatically does that. It's amazing. So you can adjust the factory set water bottle filling amount. The maximum fill time is 60 seconds. The light bars flash during the operation. Press bottle fill button. Place a pitcher or bottle under the water dispenser opening, and that's what the Samsung one has, a pitcher. Simultaneously press and hold bottle fill and crush buttons until the required water amount has been dispensed. That is pretty cool. The new water amount is now preset to memory. Every time you press the button fill button, that water amount will be dispensed. So you just want to be careful with that if you try to use it. All right. Another thing that we can focus on, this is a smart appliance, man. So the appliance is Wi-Fi capable and can be controlled remotely using a mobile device. Note, Wi-Fi is registered trademark of the Wi-Fi Alliance. The appliance functions without a network connection and can still be operated. The appliance functions without a network connection and can still be operated manually via the controls. The appliance is not connected to a home network. The availability of the Home Connect function depends on the availability of Home Connect services in your country. All right, so you want to think about that as well. Of course, you can set it up on your Home Connect, right? Do that, a lot of functions, a lot of features, remotely do a lot of things with this appliance. Manually connect with the Wi-Fi. Again, we talk about smart appliance, being able to connect your appliance to Wi-Fi. We always suggest, man, being careful with this type of stuff, with this type of technology. You always talk about identity theft and people hacking in certain devices. So you just want to be careful no one is hacking into your refrigerator, because it's smart enough to do all these things. You want to be mindful of that as well. And then you want to be mindful of where you're putting the refrigerator at times, because if it's not in a good spot, then the connection might not be as strong. All right, connecting the refrigerator to Home Connect app. We talk about that. Smart appliance, installing updates for the Home Connect software. So it's so many different things that you can do, similar to like your smartphone and all that type of stuff, man. As far as this appliance, man, this joint is really tough. We really like it, man. Really sweet. All right, so we're gonna let this video rock for a little bit. We talk a lot about the functions and features there. This is inside of the refrigerator, which is the fresh food section. We loving the shelves on the Bosch refrigerator. It's similar to the 800 series that we did. The shelves are real thin, but they have a little bit of weight to them. So we really like that, because that will help you when you're putting stuff on top of the refrigerator or inside of the refrigerator, excuse me, then it's not as easy to crack or break, and it's not flimsy as the plastic shelves. All right, so we really like that. And of course we like the steel in the background of the refrigerator that allows your refrigerator to cool that much better. All right, so we're just gonna let it stop right there. Of course, we talk about your water filter that's on the right side of the inside of the fresh food section. We talked about replacing it every 6 months. Of course, your refrigerator is smart enough to remind you to let you know to replace it as well. All right, so you want to make sure that you replace it every 6 months. You can pay attention to the water to see if it's discolored or how it tastes, and of course you can pay attention to the size of your ice. All right, so we're just gonna let this video continue to roll down a little bit, man. Like I said, we like the back panel, that stainless steel that helps with the cooling portion of the refrigerator, because it holds a lot of the temperature, makes your refrigerator that much colder, and it doesn't have to cycle on as much. All right, glass. We love the inside interior of the unit. We talk about the crisper drawers there as well. All that is located in the owner's manual as well. This is where you can see the ice maker, right? So we're going to go into that, and this is the left side of the French door refrigerator, so you'll be able to see that. So you can pull out the ice maker there. You can see inside of the ice maker. So we try to give you guys a real look of what it looks like on the inside of the refrigerator with the ice maker, so you can actually see that. And then of course you have the ice bucket there as well, so you'll be able to use that, and you'll be able to slide the ice bucket back in. And this is the left portion of the door. Up top here is where the chute is, where the ice drops into the actual chute and then goes through the door. All right. And then of course you have shelving that you can put stuff on there as well. We like the interior of the shelves, the stainless steel chrome that goes on top of it, that you can actually see the shelving there. That's a really nice touch, and it has the word Bosch on it. Then of course you have the mullion that sits here as well, that allows the refrigerator to, when the door is closed, you can generate heat, prevent a lot of moisture from building up within the refrigerator as well. So that's pretty cool. We really like that. Not all of them have the Bosch logo on it, but we can actually stop here looking at the dispenser. All right, so you have your lock, your light, crushed ice, cube ice, water, and your bottle filled. All right, so we can actually go into that a little bit as well. All right, so let's get into some of that. We talked about a lot of the humidity stuff. We can let that talk about that for a little bit, because I don't really want to miss that. The vegetable bin is the optimum storage location for fresh fruit and vegetables. You can adjust the humidity in the vegetables bin via the divisions plate, humidity controller, and a special seal. The humidity in the vegetable bin can be set according to the type and quantity of products to be stored, mainly fruit as well as for a large load, set lower air humidity. Many vegetables are as well as for a mixed or small load, set higher air humidity. Notes: fruit sensitivity to cold: pineapples, bananas, papaya, and citrus fruit, and vegetables sensitive to cold. You got eggplants, cucumbers, zucchini, peppers, and then you have tomatoes and potatoes. Of course, it says you should store outside of the appliance at temperatures approximately plus 46 degrees Fahrenheit, plus 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Then of course you have plus 8 and plus 12 Celsius. Condensation may form in the vegetable bin depending on the type and quantity of products stored. All right, so that's one thing that you want to check out for as well. It says remove condensation with a dry cloth and adjust air humidity in the vegetable bin with the humidity controller. All right. We have cold storage bin as well. Ice and water dispenser. All right, it says you can use the ice and water dispenser to dispense cool water, crushed ice, and ice cubes. It says to obtain maximum ice production up to 12 pounds in a 24-hour period, the appliance must be installed according to the installation instructions. The freezer compartment must be set to the coldest temperature. The ice cube bin must be emptied every 3 hours. All right, so results may vary depending on the operating conditions, such as door opening, food load, ambient temperature and ambient humidity, water pressure, and water filter condition. All right, so you want to keep that in mind as well. Typically your ice maker normally fills up the bucket within 72 hours. All right, so this might be a little bit faster, but we're not going to deal with that. We do have the dispenser here, operation of the ice and water dispenser. Bottle filled option, that's something that we already discussed a little bit there, but you can actually see it, right? How to really program it so that you can adjust that. All right, let's talk about the operation of the ice and water dispenser. When the appliance door is open, the ice and water dispenser stops and the bottom lock is switched on. To prevent water damage, the ice and water dispenser stops automatically after a period of continuous dispensing. Wait a few seconds before dispensing ice or water again. The ice and water dispenser stops automatically after several consecutive dispensing operations. Wait a few minutes before dispensing ice or water again. To prevent ice from falling on the floor, hold the glass directly under the ice dispenser opening when dispensing crushed ice. All right, so a lot of these things you can actually see for yourself as well. Some awesome feature that it has, dispensing ice water. So we can dive into that. It says always hold the glass directly under the dispenser opening. All right, so that's one of the things you want to make sure it doesn't leak water all over the place, because over time what it can do is it can stain the stainless steel if water is in the drip pan. So you want to try to clean it up as much as possible, because it can create an ugly rusty look after a while. All right, so it says keep press cube button, crush button, or water. Keep pressing a glass against the dispenser until dispenser lever until the glass contains the required amount of ice or water. Defrosting is something that we can dive into. It says the fully automatically no frost system ensures that the appliance remains frost free. Defrosting is not required. All right, so that's a couple of the stuff talking about the dispenser. Let me see if I'm able to find anything else in there as well. Oh, and of course we can dive into the filter here. To change the filter, change the water filter, replace the replace with bypass filter. It says when changing, some water will drip from the filter. Wipe drips up with a soft cloth. You can dispose the used filter with your household garbage. All right, so it says reach into the lower recess of the filter cover, pull forward slightly and move to the bottom left. Turn the filter 90 degrees counterclockwise and remove. Insert the new filter in the filter opening to the stop and turn 90 degrees clockwise as far as it will go. Move the filter cover up to the right again and slide back as far as it will go. All right, so that's how to really install the filter there. All right, so we talked about the ice dispenser as well. Couple things, if you want to look at it from the owner's manual, you can read that, but it's pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. Not a lot of issues there. You can see that, pull it out, the bucket and all that, so we don't have to really get into it. All right, so we talked about the ice and water dispenser, right? Number one, lock, light, cube, crushed, water, and bottle dispense. All right, it says lock button locks and unlocks the ice and water dispenser. Also light switches the continuous light of the ice and water dispenser on and off. Cubed, of course, you're getting cubed ice. Crushed, you're getting crushed ice. Water sets dispensing in water, and bottle fill sets dispensing to a specific amount of water. Water dispensing outlet, ice dispenser outlet, dispenser tray, and drip play. All right, so yeah. All right, so we're gonna let this video roll, man. As you can see, man, we're trying to show you guys how to really use it. It's not a difficult thing to do. You can just follow the light when you press the button. But it also lock it, so you see the light going straight there. So you try to press any of the buttons. If you have any kids that like pressing on buttons, you can always do that as well. So now we're in the freezer compartment, so we can actually take a look at that for a little bit, see how deep it is, how much stuff you can actually fit inside of it. It's a pretty decent size. I would say probably about average, nothing special there. All right, and then of course you have the upper compartment as well, where you can put stuff in. This only has one ice maker from the looks of it. I didn't see a second one. We're gonna let the video pause a little bit. Just let this roll down so you can see the whole entire refrigerator with all the doors open. See how big it is. I do want to make sure that we go into the freezer compartment. All right, so we're gonna talk about the freezer bin. It says cold storage bin, freezer compartment. The temperatures in the cold storage bin are lower than in the refrigerator compartment. Temperatures below plus 32 degrees Fahrenheit may occur. Ideal for storing fish, meat, sausage, not suitable for salads, vegetables, groceries sensitive to cold. All right, note when storing food, a couple things that you can look into as well. Freezer compartment. The freezer compartment is suitable for what? Storing frozen foods, making ice cubes, and freezing food. The temperatures can be set from 6 degrees Fahrenheit to a -7 degrees Fahrenheit. If you got Celsius, is -14 to a -22 degrees Celsius. The freezer compartment can be used to store perishable foods long term, almost without any noticeable reduction in quality, as the low temperature considerably slow down or stop deterioration. Appearance, flavor, and all valuable ingredients are largely retained. The time between putting fresh food in the freezing compartment and its freezer solid depends on the following factors: temperature set, type of food, amount of food in the freezer compartment, quantity, and type of storage. All right, so that's something that we're looking into as well before using the appliance for the first time. Couple things: observing the drinking quality of water. We talked a lot about that as well. So we're gonna let this video rock and roll, man, because we're just about finished. So we're gonna let this joint roll, man. You can see the freezer and the door snaps back. That's one of the things. So we are out of here, man, as far as the functions and the features, man, to this refrigerator, man. Bosch, you already know, 500 series. I'm your boy, Richie Rich, and I'm out. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we're gonna focus on the price. How much it's gonna cost you. Might cost you a little, might cost you a lot. Either way, it's gonna cost you. All right, so we're looking at the Home Depot website right now, man. You can see how much this refrigerator is gonna cost you. $3,449, but you can get up to $50 off depending on the area that you're in. Man, it does come in two finishes. We have the black stainless steel, and that's what we're looking at right now. So I'm just going to show you guys a couple pictures so that you can see that as well. Couple of the capabilities and how much ice it can make and all that stuff. Check out the function and features portion of that, but we're going to really focus on the price. Let's dive into the other color, which is stainless steel. Let's see how much that is. You're talking about $31.99. So roughly, according to Home Depot, you're going to spend about $35 to about close to $4,000 for this particular refrigerator. Again, you got to factor in it is a high-end appliance. All right, so it's a Bosch brand appliance. So when you're dealing with high-end appliances, they might be a little bit higher than your traditional brands that you might get. But on average, when you're dealing with a refrigerator of this magnitude, you're going to spend some dollars. All right, let's dive into somewhere else. Dive into Lowe's. All right, so of course Lowe's right now has the black stainless steel for $34.49. Again, roughly the same price as Home Depot, nothing special there. And this is the black finish. Let's go to stainless steel. You're looking at $31.99. So it don't matter where you go so far between Home Depot and Lowe's, the price is still the same. All right, let's see what Best Buy might have. All right, so according to Best Buy, you're looking at $34.49 for the black stainless steel. They do have the stainless steel as well, which is $31.99. So roughly, from looking at this appliance, looking at the video, you can see here they do have an open box to this appliance. All right, so that's certain things you can search for in your local area. Let me see how much they got it for. I thought I just saw open box. Right, open box $19.99. So you're getting at least well over $1,000 for this appliance. All right, for the stainless steel models, because it was originally $31.99. All right, so that's a really good price. So the price portion of the video going to be real short, man, but of course if you want to purchase this appliance, it's going to cost you a couple dollars. But of course, I'm your boy Richie Rich, man. I'm out of here, man. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we're going to focus on the warranty, the manufacturer warranty. All right, so right now we're on the Home Depot website, man, and you already know, man, if you're used to our videos by now, scroll down all the way to the bottom, go to where it says info and guides. It breaks down this appliance, man, and energy guides, specifications, warranty, installation guides, and of course use and care manual as well. So we're going to tap into where it says warranty. All right, and of course this is for the Bosch refrigerator, man, statement of limited product warranty, and we're just going to read that real quick, where it says what this warranty covers and who it applies to. It says the limited warranty provided by Bosch Home Appliances Corporation in this statement of limited product warranty applies only to the Bosch appliance or product sold to you, the first using purchaser, provided that the product was purchased for your normal household non-commercial use and has in fact at least only been used for normal household purposes. All right, so you do want to make sure you consider that when you're talking about these warranties. They're real specific. If you go outside of what is covered and you try to use it for commercial use, that will void your warranty, of course, and you want to make sure that is it really worth it to really do that. All right, it says new at retail, not a display or as is or previously returned model and not for resale or commercial use. All right, so that's one of the things you're going to have to consider, because a lot of appliances, we also buy appliances here. Sometimes we get them as is or they're returned, so of course they're going to be a lot cheaper. So you want to consider or find out if the unit's going to be covered by additional warranty as well. All right, but obviously in this case it's saying that it's not. All right, within the United States or Canada, and has at all times remained within the country of original purchase. All right, it says the warranty statement herein apply only to the first purchaser of the product and are not transferable. All right, so some of the stuff you can already see here, we're just going to dive into. It says how long the warranty lasts. As you can see, of course, just to break it down in a nutshell, man, you have a warranty, 1 year warranty, 365 days. All right, it says Bosch warrants that product is free from defects in materials and workmanship for a period of 365 days, of course, which is 1 year from the date of purchase. The foregoing timeline begins to run upon the date of purchase, shall not be stalled, toiled, extended, or suspended for any reason whatsoever. All right, you also have a cosmetic defect as well for 30 days. It says this product is also warranted to be free from cosmetic defects in material and workmanship, such as scratches of the stainless steel, paint, porcelain, blemishes, chips, dents, or other damage to the finish of the product for a period of 30 days from the date of purchase or closing date for new construction. All right, the cosmetic warranty excludes slight color variation due to inherent differences in painted and porcelain parts, as well as difference caused by kitchen lighting, product location, or similar factors. The cosmetic warranty specifically excludes any detailed floor as is or B stock appliances. All right, so you want to keep that in mind when you purchase appliances. They don't cover the warranty. Repair / replace as your exclusive remedy. All right, it says during the warranty period, Bosch or one of its authorized service providers will repair your product without charge to you, subject to certain limitations stated herein. If your product proves to have been manufactured with a defect in materials or workmanship, if reasonable attempts to repair the product has been made without success, then Bosch will replace your product. On upgrade models may be available to you in Bosch sole discretion for an additional charge. So they'll charge you for upgraded models. All right, it says all removed parts and components shall become the property of Bosch at its sole option. All replaced and or repaired parts shall assume the identity, let's go up to the top, of the original part of purposes of this warranty, and this warranty shall not be extended with respect to such parts. All right, so of course you're only getting a standard 1 year manufacturer warranty, man, parts and labor. You get an additional 30 days warranty for cosmetic use. I don't see any additional warranty, man, which is kind of shocking to me by Bosch. They normally give you a little bit more here, but on this particular refrigerator, from the sources that we've reached and looked up and dissect, this is all that you can actually get. All right, so if you want more than that, contact Bosch. You can get extended warranty through Home Depot, Lowe's, Bosch, or wherever you buy the purchase, or wherever you purchase the appliance from. They can help you there as well. All right, so outside of that, man, let me make sure that's it, man. We out of here, man. We in the lab getting it in. Bosch refrigerator, man, talking about the warranty. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we're gonna focus on the parts. Man, how much is it gonna cost you to repair this appliance? All right, for example, of course, we normally do a slight markup on the price of the part that we see online. We give you a labor estimate as far as how much it's going to cost you to repair the appliance with the labor. So you're talking about for refrigerators, for example, we normally put it out for about $220. That's just a standard repair on a refrigerator. If you're dealing with the seal system, which is your compressor, your condenser, your evaporator units, anything to deal with Freon, we're gonna charge you about, I would say, $400 for the sake of the video. You can possibly get it lower than that depending on the company that you go to, but we're just gonna mark it up to about $400 plus the price of the part, just to give you an estimate. All right, so let's look at this unit. Of course, they have the bypass filter that you can purchase yourself. If you don't want to use your water filter to dispense water throughout the refrigerator, you can actually buy the bypass filter for $15.95 online. All right, you're talking about the Bosch door. Alright, so the price for the door, depending on if it's the bottom freezer or the French door refrigerator, a lot of these part videos that we shoot and shot for this particular unit, it's not a lot of information out there, not a lot of images, so you're just going to have to go and contact Bosch, and if you need to get a part from Bosch, you can actually get it from them, and they'll send their service certified tech to come out and they repair their unit. All right, so if you need to replace the part, you're looking at $380.95. So if we mark this up for about 400 bucks, you're talking about 220 in labor. I would say roughly you're looking at about between 620 bucks as a minimum to about 700 to almost 800 bucks to replace that door. All right, depending on which one. Then you have another door that's $265.95. It's not a common issue that your doors do break. I know over time when you're dealing with refrigerators, the dispenser, when you try to dispense water coming out of the door and inner lining can freeze up from time to time, and that prevents water from coming out. Normally the tech will come out and will melt the water line so that whatever ice is built up throughout the door can eventually melt, and then of course you can have strong flow coming in. But if that's the case, if that's not the case and you happen to need a new door, these are the going rates for doors on a refrigerator because it normally comes as an assembly. You might have to use some of the old stuff from the old door, but doors are really expensive, but they do not go bad that often. All right, so that's one thing that you can consider as well. Power module board. All right, so let's look at one of the control boards inside of here. You're talking about $136.95. $200 for the part, $220 for the labor. You're talking about 420 bucks. All right, when you're dealing with controls, it depends on what control. If the particular manufacturer for this appliance might have issues with the actual control going bad, then of course that's one issue that you have to consider. Most of the times the board is like the last resort that a tech will check out to find out if that's an issue. But if you happen to need this board, man, you can see it's going to cost you some bread, and you're talking about at least 420 bucks. All right, so let's go back to, you have your trays. You can purchase the trays yourself, $25.95. Your Bosch valve, I'm not sure if that's the water valve. It doesn't really specifically say that, but you're looking at $14.95. All right, let's go and see what else we might have. You have your cable harness, Bosch bracket, air channel exhaust. When you're talking about the exhaust vent, probably inside of the refrigerator, you're looking at $284.95, which is an assembly. Bosch 90-degree door stopper, stuff like that, not a common issue. Thermal fuses, not a common issue. Glass panel, you're looking at $116.95. Connectivity module, which is $175.95, which is possibly a control board. But if you look, your water filter is about 60 bucks. This is about average how much you will spend for a water filter when you're dealing with refrigerators. All right, this is something that you have to replace every 6 months as well, so you want to consider that. All right, if you want to stock up on these, it's best to do so you can have it and replace it every 6 months. All right, let's see what else they might have to offer. Module not program, or your Bosch control board. So certain control boards, depending on the model, I know I've had this issue with GE appliance, LG appliances. When you purchase a control board, sometimes if you have issue with the compressor, you might have to reprogram the board on a lot of these appliances. Some of them come where it's not programmable, and some of them come that that is programmed. So you might have to have a tech that's Bosch certified to get certain information, how to program it if he's not able to do it. So that's one of the things you have to consider. But you're looking at $216.95. Let's say if the part is $300, labor $220, you're talking about 520 bucks. All right, so just keep that stuff in mind. Bosch condenser. All right, so that's the condenser unit in the back that allows heat. So if you have your air conditioning unit, for those who are familiar with that and have that in their home, it's outside. So when you're looking at the condenser unit, that box with the huge fan, that's the same exact thing that's in the back of your refrigerator. All right, so that condenser unit, you're looking at $85.95. That's just a part. So the part alone, you're talking about $100. You have to also have additional parts that you would need when you're dealing with refrigerant. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You're talking about a labor of 400 bucks. So roughly, if you need a service valve or anything else when you're replacing the condenser, That can be expensive as well when you're dealing with Freon, taking out the Freon, recovering it, putting a new Freon in. You got to make sure it's weighted as well. So that's a lot of issues that you got to deal with. So I would say roughly, for the sake of this video, you're talking about at least, to repair this unit, I would say probably about 600 bucks to do so. All right, 600. Your compressor, like look at the compressor. You're talking about a compressor for this particular unit alone. You're looking at 480, 195. Let's say this part for the compressor is 600, labor for 400. You're talking about at least close to $1,000, if not $1,000 and more, to replace your compressor, because you have to have additional parts. Again, service valves probably need to be replaced as well. You have issues there. Again, taking out the refrigerant, putting new refrigerant in. It's a lot. It's not an easy job to do. It normally takes between, I'll say, about 3 hours for the technician to be comfortable, where he's not really rushed to get the job done. So you're talking about, I would say, a minimum, man, at least $1,000, man, to repair this unit, with all the additional parts that you might need. All right, temperature sensors, $33.95. Air filter, which is the carbon air filter, $13.95. You can replace that on your own. Your refrigerator is smart enough to remind you as well, to let you know when you need to replace that. That's not an issue there. All right, so we can see what else this has to offer here as we continue to rock and roll, man, and get this joint done. You got Bosch covers, a lot of covers. Cooling element, you're talking about $79.95 if you happen to need that. $100 for the part. Labor $220, you're talking about 320 bucks. Control unit or control board, again, another control board that you might use, $166.95, $200 for the part, $220, you're talking about 420 bucks. All right, Bosch module programmed. All right, so again, you can buy the control board when it's not programmed and with a program, but the difference in the price you can see is $237.95. Roughly, we can say it's about 300 bucks. Talking about 220 bucks in labor, and you're talking about, man, at least 520. All right, so that's how much that would cost there. All right, so we got on here, we got the Bosch cover fan. All right, so this is probably the evaporator fan assembly. You're talking about $293.95 that comes with the cover and the fan and everything else connected to that. You're talking about the part, we're gonna mark it up to $400, $220 in labor. You're talking about at least $620. All right, so again, Bosch is a high-end appliance, so you do want to consider that when you do step into this realm of trying to purchase a Bosch appliance. You're gonna know, you got to understand what you pay for is what you get, right? So it's like buying a Mercedes, it's buying a Lexus. You understand when you're dealing with luxury cars, prices are going to be different from your standard cars. All right, Bosch cover, we talked about a lot of the covers as well, so we can move on from those. All right, let's see what else it might have to offer. The drawers, right, $83.95 depending on which one it is. All right, stuff like that you can purchase yourself. Hinges and doors, right, you're looking at $269.95. okay. If you happen to need a door breaking is not a common issue, but if you happen to need it, you're talking about 300 bucks for that part. Labor $220, possibly you're looking at least a minimum 520 bucks. All right, so we also have another module display module, right? You have Bosch display, and then you have a Bosch display module. So you have the whole entire assembly of the display. You're talking about $235.95. Roughly, we're gonna mark it up to about 300. Labor $220. You're talking about 520 bucks. All right. Let's see what else we might have on this joint. A lot of parts, man. It's just that we don't have a lot of images here because of the limited information they have out here for Bosch. Bosch fan, $91.95. Another one is $66.95. That could be the condenser fan that sits in the back that circulates. If you happen to need that, part is $100. Labor $220. You're talking about 320 bucks. All right, Bosch evaporator. All right, so then there's another evaporator. So this is the evaporator on the inside that allows your refrigerator to cool. Don't really have an image of that, but you'll be able to see it. But you're looking at $385.95. You're talking about at least a part that's like 5. Labor, you're talking about 4. Again, this is a part of the seal system. All right, so you're gonna need additional parts for that. It costs bread. So I would say roughly about $1,000 for that. All right, so these are some of the prices you want to spend. So if you want this appliance, you want to spend some bread for. You got different drawers and different prices. One is $79.95, the other one is $89.95, and the other one is $95.95. All right, so I just don't want to skim through that. All right, let's see what else we got. Bosch fixtures, not really much there, just probably like cosmetic stuff here. Not a lot of issues. I think we got through a lot of the major parts. Glass panel, right, $117.95 if you happen to need that. Part 200, labor 220, talking about 420 bucks. Bosch flap, $156.95. All right, that might be the dispenser, right, that allows you when you put your cup and the whole dispenser assembly, that could be it for $156.95, $200 part, labor 220. You talk about 420 bucks. All right, so it's gonna cost you some bread. Bosch heater bottom, Bosch door handles. Okay, door handles do break. You're talking about $146.95. The other is $58.95 if you happen to need that as well. All right, part 100, labor 220. We're talking about at least 320 bucks. All right, Bosch guide, $106.95. All right, let's see what else we got, man. Holder, cover, hinge. Bosch heater, $42.95. Heater ring, $23.95 if you happen to need that. Bosch motor, $238.95. Part 300, labor 220, talking about 520 bucks. Light bar, $12.95, different lights. Bosch inverter, all right, so that's another board, $180.95 if you happen to need that. Part of you talking about at least 250 bucks, labor 220, talking about $470. Your ice maker, man, could cost you some bread. Ice makers are running from $237.95, so we're gonna mark it up to about 300, labor 220. If you really want ice, you're gonna spend at least 500 bucks to replace the ice maker, $520. All right, Bosch ice container, $179.95 if you need that container. That's high, but depending on what the container is. All right, so plate, got a lot of things. Bosch power module, right? We talked about $54.95, power cord, stuff like that, outlet brackets. All right, so we're gonna continue to see what we got. There's a lot of parts. Door seal, if you need, $47.95. Screw adjuster, not worrying about any screws or anything like that, or rubber feet or plate. We're gonna let this rock, see what else we can find on this unit. 15, switch, support, Bosch sensor, $73.95 for a sensor if you need that, $100 for the part, labor 220, so we're talking 320 bucks. All right, thermostat, magnet, $61.95, $39.95 there, $19.95, trays. All right, so these are inexpensive part, tool and all that stuff, so let's rock. The wheel, water tube, $120.95. Water tank, where the water sits in the back of the refrigerator, so when you're getting water in, it's cold, $60.95. I've seen where that tank could either get frozen or it might be punctured a hole, you got to replace it. So if you happen to need that, you're talking about $100 for the part, $220 labor, 320 bucks. Water inlet, which is the water valves, man, you got a water inlet assembly, $271.95. So if you happen to need that part, we're talking about 350 bucks, labor 220. You're talking about at least $570. All right, just to give you an idea and how much this stuff is going to cost you. All right, so the last but not least, wires and all that stuff, man. So when we're talking about parts for this particular appliance, man, it's going to cost you some bread. We're going to, of course, give you the average of how much everything is going to cost when we finish up this video. But you know we in the lab getting it in, man. We out of here, man. Peace. All right, so we're going to shoot our overall review to let you know exactly how we feel about this Bosch French door refrigerator. We're going to start off with the price. How much it's going to cost you. Might cost you a little, might cost you a lot. Either way, it's gonna cost you. Man, when we talking about price for this appliance, of course you can get it in two finishes. You can get it in black stainless steel, or you can get it in your traditional stainless steel. The price for the black stainless steel is about $3,449. For the stainless steel, you're talking about $3,199. we were able to find, so check out the price portion of this video. We had an open box, so if you happen to see those in your local store, in your Lowe's, in your Best Buy, in your Home Depot, the price that we saw for the open box for the stainless steel, it's about 1,900 bucks, which is saving you a lot of money there. So you want to make sure that if you're able to get it at a reasonable price, I suggest you cop it, man. But as far as what you're paying for, Bosch being a high-end brand, this is what you're going to spend. So we're going to give it an average grade of about a 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's focus on the warranty. Warranty, the manufacturer warranty. All right, so when we're talking about a warranty for this particular unit, you get a 1-year manufacturer warranty, both parts and labor. They also give you a 30-day cosmetics warranty as well. So check out the portion of the warranty video. We break that down a little bit so you'll be able to read it and see it as well. But when we're talking about a warranty, man, unfortunately, the grade that we're going to give this unit is going to be an average grade because of the warranty is an average warranty. You're spending about $3,000 for this appliance, and the best that Bosch could do is give you a 1-year warranty. So we're not happy with it, man. So we're going to give it a 3. 1, 2, 3. Average. That's what you get. Average people get average things. All right, let's talk about parts. Man, cost per repair. All right, so a couple of parts that typically goes bad when you're dealing with refrigerators, and we're going to talk about this in different appliances as well. If you watch our videos, we do that great. All right, so you want to make sure when you talk about the parts and how much it's going to cost you, we dive into the parts that typically go bad. We also give you an estimate. Refrigerators, the labor is a little bit different from our traditional $150 that we normally use. For example, this one we're going to use $220 just for a standard repair. But if you happen to need a compressor installed, if you need a condenser, an evaporator, that's the seal system portion. When you're dealing with Freon, that portion of it, our labor cost is going to be $400. All right, so that $400 might be a little bit high, but we're going to just raise it up that much just to give you a ballpark of how much it's going to cost you to repair these parts when they do go bad. All right, so let's talk about the door. All right, it didn't differentiate between the doors. It just said door. As far as the door, you're talking about $620. You have a PC board. You're talking about $420, parts and labor. All right, filter, your water filter. This is something that you can do yourself as well. You can replace that every 6 months. But to replace a water filter, it's about $60. That's about average. You have several control boards inside of this particular unit that could go bad. You have a programmable control board that you can use, which is $520 for this, because that's a standard repair as well. You do have the control board that is programmable. That's a little bit higher, but as far as the price we're going to quote it, it's still the same as 520 bucks. All right, so it depends on the technician and who orders the part and what parts you need. Your compressor, to replace a compressor, which is the seal system, your compressor alone is about $400 and some dollars. You got to factor in Freon. You got to factor in if you need a dye dryer. These are seal system components that you'll need when you're ordering a compressor. But at the same time, you're talking about a repair for a compressor at least about $1,000, man. It's going to cost you some bread. When we're talking about the fan assembly, which is the evaporator fan assembly that comes with the back panel and the fan as well, you're talking about at least 620 bucks for there. The display module, the display board, so you'll be able to see the different displays and stuff, that's on top of the refrigerator. You're talking about $520. Evaporator coil, which is similar to the evaporator coil is similar to the condenser coil. So we never did either one of those, but if you want to replace the evaporator coil, you're talking about at least $1,000. The condenser unit, you're talking about at least a $600 repair as well. Ice maker that a lot of us are familiar with, on average you're going to spend at least 520 bucks. Yes, 520 bucks to replace your ice maker, because ice makers are from $200 to about $300 depending on who makes it. The water valve that supplies water, you're talking about $570. So on average, adding all these different prices, man, as far as the parts, you're talking about an average of $570. That's how much you're going to spend to repair this appliance. All right, again, it's a high-end appliance, which is Bosch. Of course, it's a refrigerator, so a refrigerator is a lot more expensive than your stoves, washers, and all that stuff. So that's why the price is going to be a little bit higher. But for our overall grade for the parts, we're going to give it, including the parts are available. We like that. The price $570 for $3,400 or $3,100 refrigerator. As far as our parts grade, we're gonna give this unit, man, we're gonna give it a 4 because we really like the parts grade on here. So we'll give it a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now for my favorite part, let me get my notes, man. I gotta make sure I remember as much as I can. All right, so as far as the functions, all right, the functions and the features. All right, so we're gonna talk about this appliance. It is a smart appliance. Of course, you can download the Home Connect app where you can communicate back and forth from your cell phone or your smart device with the refrigerator. You can connect it to Wi-Fi. Always be careful when you do that type of stuff anyway, when you're dealing with identity thefts. And you also make sure that when the refrigerator is installed, it's installed in a really good place where you can get a good, strong Wi-Fi signal. All right. It also have Energy Star qualified. You have an eco mode, and you also have a vacation mode. All right, so in the vacation mode, it automatically sets your refrigerator temperature to about 43 degrees Fahrenheit. So that helps your refrigerator from not using a lot of energy when you're not home. So you want to consider that. It also have a Sabbath mode. Right, of course, if you practice the Jewish faith, of course, Sabbath mode is beneficial to you, so you can use that, and that's extremely helpful. We talked about the eco mode, energy saving mode that it has there as well. It has a Vita Fresh, which balances temperatures and offers customized humidity. That's one of the things that we like there. It also has a temperature alert, so if your temperature has dropped to a low temperature, your refrigerator will beep and let you know that the temperature is low. So that's like an indication to tell you that it might be broken or it might be damaged. There could be an issue with it, so you'll at least know to probably take your food out and switch it to another refrigerator if you do have it, to be able to get it fixed. And then once you get it fixed, you put everything back. All right, so that's really good. It has the door alarm as well, so if you leave the door open, it'll beep and let you know that the door is open and you need to close the door. But I will also have on here super cooling and super freezing. All right, so you can increase the temperature in the refrigerator or the freezer higher than normal. This will help if you're having parties and stuff like that, so that stuff can freeze up a lot faster, so you can be ready for those special events. Last but not least, man, this joint has the fastest ice maker. So you could make 12 pounds of ice per day for up to 40 glasses. All right, so that's really fast. A lot of ice. This is unique. First one I would say in the industry with all this ice. You have different ways to make ice. They got fast cool and all this other stuff, but this one makes a lot of ice. All right, so that's one of the things that we like about this appliance. It has so many features, so many functions. We really like the joint, so of course, you know, we're giving it a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's add all this up, man. What we talking about? An appliance, man. Talking about price 3, warranty 3, parts 4, function and features 5, overall grade is a 15 divided by 4. That means you're gonna get a 3.75. Man, of course, with that low of a grade, you already know, man, we cannot recommend this appliance at all. One of the things that we say that will improve this appliance, the rating and the grade, one, if you can get it for a lower price. The warranty that Bosch provides, of course, you can get extended warranty as well. They can improve on the warranty. They probably won't improve on they can improve some on the price when it drops down years later or a couple months later, if they have a special buy, or they have special sales or holiday stuff like that, if you want to look out for this appliance. But as of right now, man, of course, you already know we cannot recommend this joint. We're going to give it a grade of 3.75. Man. All right, so you already know who I am. Man. I'm your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Report. You help me, I help you. We both help each other. Till next time, I'm out of here, man. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're out. Peace.